from the lives of our saints. On the 14th of July, our church celebrates the feast day of Saint Nikodimos. The following are some thoughts on his life and works. Born on the island of Naxos in the Kyklades, Greece, in 1749, Nikodimos was a child prodigy who came to combine a remarkable intellect with an intimacy with God. In his continuous intellectual pursuits, he found himself surpassing his instructors until he met Iorotheos, a man of philosophical wisdom and profound faith with whom Nikodimos studied in the city of Smyrna. Nikodimos did not enter a monastery on Mount Athos until he was 27 years of age. By this time, he was superbly prepared for the great goals he had set for himself, which could be attained only within the confines of this magnificent cloister. His responsibilities increased with his spiritual projects, and as secretary and official historian of the monastery, he became a most prolific writer of theology and of literature as well. His pen added luster to Christian worship and brought literary laurels to himself. He became a master of wordship. To supplement his references and to gather material for his many writings, he travelled to cities throughout Asia Minor and Eastern Europe, at times assisting local prelates in matters of interpretation and dogma. In Moldavia, he offered his translation of both the Old and New Testaments, and in Venice, he set down his master for Philokalia, drawing from the writings of holy men of the Church to form a spiritual guidebook that has become a standard text for clerics. With the precision of a mathematician, he compiled the holy canons, the rules of the Church, and a number of service books for the sacraments used by clergymen today. Among the many manuscripts that poured out is today's Pendalion, which sets forth the canons and rules of the Church from the 4th century with such precision and clarity that it has been termed the Rudder of the Church. Equally gifted in music, Nikodimos composed the beautiful hymns heard in church during the Holy Friday services of the funeral of Christ. His masterpiece is a 2-volume edition of the Lives of Saints, a spiritual and literary feat which flowed from his pen in a relatively short span of time, and which is the authoritative reference on the saints of the first 17 centuries of Christianity. In addition to compiling service books for the clergy, he set down in prose the life and times of St. Gregory Palamas, an interpretation of St. Paul, and a detailed calendar of the Church feast days. All of these works also won very high acclaim throughout the Russian Orthodox and Roman Catholic churches. At a time when Orthodox Christians were suffering losses through conversion to the Muslim faith, due to weariness over being discriminated against socially and especially economical, Saint Nikodimos rushed forward with his Neon Martyrologion. This was an account of the new martyrs, ordinary men and women who thought so much of their faith in Jesus Christ that they refused to apostatize and suffer death, remaining faithful to the Saviour. This book did much to bolster the faith of Orthodox Christians, because the examples of martyrs Nikodimos described were not of supermen and superwomen, but of ordinary human beings. Beloved by all Christians whose lives had been enriched by this theological and literary giant, and revered as one of the most gifted of its holy men, Nikodimos of the Holy Mountain died at the age of 60 on the 14th of July, 1809.